What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Level With You show. My name is Wiley Olmsted, and this week I am joined by the not-so-phantom producer himself, Tyler Hadley.
How's it going, everybody?
The Sub-Zero hero himself, Kenny Castro.
The greatest in the universe. Hi, guys.
As well as, you know him as the do-artistic one, Anthony Duart.
Hey, how's it going?
Well, this is an exciting episode this week. We've got Game of the Year, back half of the show. Each of us has chosen our five, count them, best games of 2020. And I'm sorry, I'm getting this reverb and echoed in my mic, and it's driving me crazy. I'm trying to deal with it. It's okay. All right, moving on. So that's going to be an exciting back half of the show. Good topic of the show, writes itself. It's been quite a year for games, quite a year for the world, obviously. But before we get into that, we're going to talk about the things we've been playing. We'd really appreciate it if you would like the video, share it with your friends, maybe encourage them to join our Discord or join the Discord yourself, even better. You can find the description on how to do that in the description below. You can also listen to the show on podcast services. So if you want to listen to it in your car, walking your dog, doing whatever you do, we are out there. And if you want to hear us in a new podcast service, just let us know and we'll make it happen. Okay, so let's get into it, guys. How's your week been? How's 2021 so far? Give me the scoop.
2021. A whole new year.
It fucking sucks already. Unemployment doesn't work. I'm still laid off, which is okay. Actually, that's pretty good so far. Besides that, I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, you got your crazy sleep schedule back in action now, I see, huh?
I know, back from quarantine. Just waking up. Actually, no, I was a good boy and I woke up yesterday at 7 a.m. and then I stayed up till 5. I was chatting with Kenny because we were talking. He's like, "Yo, you still working on commissions?" I was like, "Yeah." And we were talking about Monster Sanctuary, and I was up till like 5 finishing that up, and then I went to bed, and then I woke up at 2 today, let the dog out, and then I was like, "I'm gonna go back to bed. I'm tired," and then I woke up.
The day of a truly productive and valuable member of society.
Oh, you flatter me. Stop.
So Monster Sanctuary, we'll be getting to that in a little bit. It's the new monster game that everybody's talking about after last week's Monster Train, or was it 2 weeks ago? Everybody was into that. But that's coming up in a little bit. What about you, Kenny? How's your 2021 so far?
Amazing. You know, I got crowned Monster Train 2020 King of Level With You. So I opened up 2021 with my crown on my head.
I don't know who crowned you, but
I was crowned by the people, Tyler.
Self-proclaimed crown.
I'm crowning. Look
the
at me.
kingdom of Level With You has crowned me, Tyler. Move over.
I wouldn't call it a kingdom. I'd call it like, I don't know, a small, like a farmer's market.
The farmer's market of Level With You has crowned me. So I started off 2021 as the farmer's market king of Monster Train. Okay.
I like that. That's good.
I also completed already 2 games to start 2021 because by all means I rolled credit with Samurai Jack. We'll talk briefly about that. I don't have too much to talk about it. And I completed, what was the other one? Call of the Sea.
Gears Hive Busters.
Oh, Gears Hive Busters, yes.
Yeah,
so Call of the Sea, I ended the year with Call of the Sea, opened it up with Hive Busters and Samurai Jack.
Right, and you can see our full Gears 5 Hive Busters playthrough up on the YouTube channel, I believe. Is that accurate, Kenny?
I think so.
Oh, my bad. I was crowning myself in my headphones.
Oh,
but yes.
The live stream that you guys did.
Yep.
Yeah, that's up.
Yeah, we got through the entire campaign.
That is
just
3
hours, and we'll be talking about
That's
it a
awesome.
little bit. So what about you, Tyler? You enjoying yourself?
Yeah, 2020's been 2021. Jeez, I gotta get used to
No,
that now.
not again.
We're back. Oh, you said it. Sorry, we gotta go back in time. We're already back.
Shit.
Shit, I did it.
Yeah, so far the year's been pretty good. Nothing too crazy. Like literally nothing too crazy, just because we
Put down your Christmas tree. That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
crazy.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, oh yeah, I cleaned up the holiday decorations, but so crazy.
That's pretty crazy. That's
I'm
pretty
keeping
crazy.
mine up
That's
as
like a
long
whole
as
thing.
am able to without seeming like a crazy person. So that's probably, I don't know, a couple more weeks at least.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want to get it out of there to not have to worry about it later on.
Gotcha. I hear that. Okay, well, why don't we get into it, folks? We've been playing a lot of games. There's like at least 5 we need to talk about, and then we got Game of the Year talks, and we don't want to be here all night. So why don't we lead off with the relatively recently released game that the 3 of you are all into, Monster Sanctuary, out on Game Pass. It's actually, I think, been out on Steam for a little while, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so this is a 16-bit old school looking monster collector slash battler slash Metroidvania. You guys have been yucking it up in the Discord about it. I've just been sitting it out on the sideline playing better games. Just kidding. So
Why
tell
are
me
you
about,
recommended it to me?
Yeah.
Don't give me that shit.
That's very true. I'm just messing around.
No, I know.
Okay. So Anthony, why don't you tell me why you like it or why you don't like it?
I don't like it because I'm bad at platforming, but that's about the only thing. I love the combat. It's super cool so far. It's sweet that it gives you little star ratings at the end of every battle, kind of just throws you into it. You can check out my first impressions, the first like about hour and a half or so. They're up on the channel.
Nice.
And you can watch me fail at the platforming because I'm very bad at trying to climb over rocks. But I did think it was really cool that you can use your monsters that you hatch in the different environments. So say I was kind of flopping around for a while and you get your first starting guy and he can like slash through walls. If you have like a wall that's got a little crack in it, you can press F. I was using the keyboard controls and you can like slash down the wall and you get some treasure that's in there. Or I found out later on when you were battling some guys, you could get a bird and the bird lets you hover a little bit. So I was able to like, jump over some gaps and grab a couple treasure chests in the distance. So that was pretty sweet. And the battling is really cool because your HP and magic regens after every battle. So you don't have to worry about healing between fights. And there's a bunch. Like you can, I think the most of that, the video I have up, the 2 hours is just me grinding to like level 5 for every monster I have. And then finally getting lost and then finding where I was supposed to go.
Gotcha. So the Metroidvania aspect, it sounds like your starter that you chose enabled you to access certain areas that you weren't able to otherwise. Is that right?
Yep, I think I don't know if all the starters have the same thing. Kenny, is yours because you chose a different one than me? Did yours have the claw ability, or was it fire?
Yes, claw
Okay.
ability.
Okay. So
The
I was
one-
going to say
What about
that
you,
that's a
Tyler?
really deep system there.
The one I
If they
started
all
with
have
had the
their-
levitate ability.
Oh, really? Which one did you? Oh, you
The
chose the bird, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Because he's a bird.
That's
Or
cool.
levitate, I get that. So what are your impressions of it, Tyler and Kenny? You're both pretty into it, it seems.
I definitely like it so far. I mean, it's just
You
kind
guys
of
are farther
a
than me now.
yeah, it's just kind of like a low key. Like it's not overly complicated. So like I think I'm finally at a point where I need to start thinking more strategically, or I just need to grind a little bit because one of the I guess like quote unquote bosses that I'm facing now was like 2 levels above me, and he just kind of like wiped me out. So now I'm just gonna probably grind a little bit before fighting him again, or just reevaluate some of my strategies because there's each monster that you get has like how many like 4 different skill trees that you can work like
Yeah.
put
Some
skill points
some
into.
have like 4 and some have 3. Like so, it varies depending on the monster. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can like build these monsters out kind of like however you want them to be. Like the one of the starter like bird monsters that you get early on. One of his skill trees are just like solely based like on like buffing primarily.
Mhm.
So increasing like attack and magic and adding like extra buffs to the party. And then you have like other monsters that are more skill based on like magic attacks or physical attacks. And each monster has a typing attribute. I think there's only 4 or 5 different types. Like wind, grass, earth,
Lightning.
fire,
Gotta be a
lightning.
fire.
Yeah.
Thunder. Yep.
So how Pokemon is the battle system? Is it, just one monster goes, the other monster goes, bada boom, bada bing?
No,
It's,
it's a 3-on-3.
Ooh, okay.
Mhm.
A little Dragon Quest-ish.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
Gotcha.
cool. You
So
line
one,
up.
so one team goes, one team goes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely think it's a little more RPG than a Pokemon, because in addition to those skill trees, you can also equip each monster with a weapon item and 3 accessories, which will increase their stats even more.
Gotcha. So what I'm hearing is this game is better than Pokemon Sword and Shield.
I know, Anthony.
Pokemon Sword and Shield
His
didn't have
loyalty can't.
platforming.
Yeah.
Monster Crown. I'm thinking of the other monster game. That's another one I want to check out too. Is Monster Crown. I gotta play more Monster Sanctuary first. Once I sink 200 hours into Monster Sanctuary, then I can give it a fair estimate.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You're gonna finish your Pokédex in Monster Sanctuary?
I'll try. I could be down with that. I gotta find the Tanuki suit first, though.
Oh
And I
my
think
god!
I read that there's what 100 monsters.
Yes, 100.
That's not
And
bad.
you said you had what 26, Kenny?
Yes, 26 unique ones already.
Wow.
Okay.
I want to hear about the evolving.
Doesn't have
So
the
can
Tanuki
you-
though.
Did you want to add anything to the
Yeah.
Monster Sanctuary?
I want to say that what I found so far is it's very impressive. That's impressing me is like, fighting all these guys. You get like these extra eggs sometimes, which is how you hatch. You don't catch these monsters, right? When you defeat them, you get the egg. The egg, you hatch it, then you get the monster. But what happens when you already have that monster, right? So that was something at first I was like, wow, I just hatched an extra one. I thought I could hatch it and he could consume his brethren from another mother and he gets stronger. And that's not what happens. I was already going off the rails to the right. And then it reeled me back in. It was like, whoa, 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 whoa. You're not consuming other monsters and becoming stronger. You're donating it to the Monster Sanctuary Armory. So I was like,
So it's like
all right.
candy.
So you donate them to the army, make the army stronger because if we're gonna take on the evil forces, we gotta have an army, right?
So should you hatch the eggs when you get them, or should you save them?
So you can hatch them or you can save them. So what I do is I just keep them and in the egg, and they'll hatch them.
Okay.
Because if you hatch them as you progress, then they'll just be the level that you were at the moment when you hatch them. But if you donate them, right? If you just have like 20 of them in your inventory and then you go to donate them, they'll hatch it and they'll all come out to your level at that point in time that you donate them. And as you progress in the story and keep battling, those in the army gain levels as well and go up in level, in power and level as well. And you'll get like little rewards depending on the army's strength. I think that's a nice little mechanic, nice little incentive to grind fights and go back and fight monsters you already caught before to get those eggs, get extra eggs to donate. And I think the champions fights or boss fights, other than the duels, you have like you can actually take on other people who have their own monsters. And then those are a little more traditional battles. Those tend to be where if you're the one going first, you can only make 2 actions instead of all 3 actions. So you're at a disadvantage for going first. And then who goes second gets to use all 3 actions by all 3 monsters. So that's nice as well.
So based on what Kenny's saying, it certainly is quite a bit more involved of an RPG than your typical Pokemon game. So if you're looking to get into monster hunting and are just, I don't know, looking to scratch that catching itch, it seems like this was one to check out. You can get it on Game Pass as well as Steam if that's your thing. All right, why don't we move on to something that we also played this week? Kenny and I played through the nice, tight, concise Gears 5 single-player standalone campaign, Hive Busters. You can watch the full playthrough on the YouTube channel or in the Twitch backlog. What did you think of it?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. The set pieces were beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
The pacing at first with the story and just characters was a little rough at first. Not something, oh my god, like make it or break it, but it took its time. In a 3-hour campaign, I would have liked it not to take so long to get good with the characters.
Stories, you mean?
Yeah.
I
I definitely didn't like too much your guy, The Mac, he was just whiny half the time and just seemed on hell bent on a death wish. And then when you find out why, changes how you look at him. You're like, oh, okay, makes a lot more sense. But damn it, why did I have to go an hour having to hear this guy just want to die?
Yeah. You see, he's got a haunted past that you learn about.
Yep.
And you come to, it's very predictable. I guess tough guy back and forth between Keegan and Mac, and then there's the woman that's with you that's just, oh, you guys, can't you just get along, focus on the mission, that type of thing.
She's like,
but when you
please.
said set pieces, I thought about a moment that was really impressive, that was just like, wow, this is a Naughty Dog Uncharted style level of spectacle. You know what I'm talking about? Where
Yes,
you're floating down a certain place.
Yep.
Yeah,
I do remember it. I was like, wow. I also was like, wait a second, this looks amazing,
And I'm sure you played on the Series X, and I'm still on my One S, and we didn't run into any issues as far as cross-gen play. I lost connection once or twice, but that's obviously not the game's fault. So I do think maybe what my takeaway is that I'm surprised that it exists, because it's a free. I think it's free for the majority of people. I mean, if you have Game Pass Ultimate, which I think so many people do, that are still going to be willing to jump into a game like Gears 5 a year after it came out. The fact that it's of the quality that it is, that there's no sort of implementation of crossover into the multiplayer or anything like that. It just seems like almost a test for going forward if we want to do these little bite-sized single-player DLCs. Like, is there a path forward for it? And we were a little disheartened to see that there was only like a 1.5% trophy complete or achievement rate when we were getting through the game. We were like, oh damn, only 1.4% of people did this very standard thing to progress the story. So
yeah.
So I hope that people check it out. I mean, it seems like it's reviewing well, but
yeah, it's worth trying out, and I would hope that we get more people being more open-minded to trying it and all that good stuff. I definitely say it was an enjoyable time. I would love to go back on a harder difficulty and just kind of roll through it and ramp up the challenge, and also look for all the collectibles we missed. We almost got all of them on our first playthrough.
Yeah, we got like 91%, right?
Yep.
So close with that.
I know.
But yeah, I'd be up for giving another shot. But what really made me want to do was go back and play Gears 4, because I missed that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that. So why don't you tell us about the other Game Pass joint, Call of the Sea? You just randomly dropped like, hey, I just rolled credits on this. You didn't even tell us you were playing it.
I installed it. I saw, you know what it was, is that I had installed it after seeing a tweet from Jason Schreier. Is that how you say his last name?
Schreier.
He tweeted about how beautiful it looked, that it's a must-play game on the Series X, and I'm bored. Let's try it. Let's install it. Started playing it. Beautiful game. It kind of reminded me almost of like What Remains of Edith Finch, in a way of how beautiful the game is and the storytelling behind it, and just how you progress. But definitely had a lot of challenging puzzles throughout the game. There was even one point in time where, I will admit it, and I won't lie, there was a puzzle I could not figure out, and I had to Google.
Hey, it happens, man.
So did it, but I got through it, and I was like, wow, like this story was worth the playthrough, was worth the download, and I was like, this is amazing that it was even on Game Pass, and I was able to play it without having to purchase it. Like, if I knew how good it was and it wasn't on Game Pass, I'd purchase it.
Nice. And you said, I think that it was about 8 to 10 hours.
Yeah, it's not a hugely long game. It all depends on how quickly you flow through the puzzles and all that stuff. So If you like taking your time, taking in the scenery, beautiful scenery, and it does a nice mix of mixing in the darker tones into certain settings, and also more vibrant with some colorful backdrops as well.
Okay, so what's the visual style like? I'm trying to bring up some screenshots of it right now.
Oh wow! So I would say slightly some of the visually at times it slightly reminds me of BioShock Infinite a little bit.
Ah,
Like just how the character model of you, or like just from pictures, like because you really don't interact with people too many with people in the game. It's
gotcha.
kind of like she's alone searching for her husband, but from just the character models from pictures that you find and you look at, so the characters looked like they were drawn out and animated to look, more realistic in a cartoonish way, almost like BioShock Infinite was.
Yeah, I can see that from the screenshots I'm pulling up here. And it's first person.
Yep, first person, and it works. The first person view works great for it, and the story has a pretty good twist to it. When you get to it. So
Is there any combat?
no,
No.
no combat, all exploration and puzzle.
Neat. I'll have to give it a shot. I am hot and cold on puzzle games, so we'll see how much I enjoy it. But it definitely has a appealing visual style, so I will give it a try because part of Game Pass.
Exactly.
Okay, Tyler, anything new you've been playing? I'm trying to include you, trying to be a good sport.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're
No, really the only thing I've been playing, well, actually, so I've been playing Monster Sanctuary,
Okay.
and
We
then
already talked about that.
I know, but I also started playing. You might laugh at me for this, but I downloaded Tiny Wings, the mobile game.
What's that?
It's just kind of like a Flappy Bird type mobile game, but instead of like tapping to go through like holes in the wall, you're tapping to bring your bird down to do like perfect slides up, like down and up hills and stuff like that.
Okay.
And it was just like something where I was hanging out with one of my friends and she was like, "Oh, I'm really good at this mobile game," and she's like, "Here, you try it, but you can't beat my score." And I was like, "Oh, well, this is my first time playing it, so probably not." So then, like, I beat her score like the next day, and then since then, me and Kayla and I have been competing with each other, and we've just been kind of like going back and forth between like who's got the high score.
Okay. Well, I guess if
Not
folks
bad.
are looking for a fun new mobile game.
Yeah, I mean,
Dude, I had this game. I played this
yeah,
game years.
it's old.
Yeah, like this is an old game. I played it on the iPad back when like the iPad first came out.
Yeah,
Damn.
it's an old game.
It's a really good game though. I had completely forgot about it.
It's very
Who are
addicting.
you? Who challenged you, Tyler? 80-year-old?
No, no, that's my friend Kelly.
Okay, I wonder what my scores are from back in 2011. That's hilarious.
Damn, 2011 feels like ages ago. My son wasn't even born.
Yeah,
Well,
it is kind of crazy though, like how addicting it ended up being.
is it still getting updates or anything?
Yeah, I have no idea, but
Oh,
it's
that's
super simple. It's
badass.
like the simplicity of it is what makes it so addicting.
Yeah. So what? I don't know if you already described this, but when you're holding down on the screen, that's when you start your dive, and you're trying to get the perfect like slope so that you do
Mhm.
a big jump and you just start flying over the stage, and
Right.
eventually the sun sets, and that's what ends your run.
Yeah,
Like
so
I really enjoyed this when I played it.
yeah, you get 3 perfect slides, and then that puts you into fever mode, and then like the
Right.
points that you accrue start like doubling, so you get like tons of points. That's how you get like the most points possible, is being in that fever mode for the longest amount of time.
Gotcha. I can already see Kenny's face. Like, I'm getting ready to download this and beat Tyler's score.
I'm always up for the challenges. I want to hold. We're gonna at one point in time we're gonna have to have a digital like Hall of Fame, like just a record board. So Ant is off screen. I'm gonna take up his quick slot to just mention a idea that we're floating around, right? And I wanted to see because I think this is a fun way even to retackle some older games that we already played. So me and Anthony were talking about touching games with our very own handmade modifiers to them. So we're
Yeah,
gonna revisit.
explain.
We're gonna revisit certain games, right? And whoever is so if I'm playing it, right? Let's say I'm gonna play
Gotta play the
Sekiro.
game without the X button.
So exactly, like it'll be wild modifiers, right? Like you can't whatever the dodge roll button might be, you can't dodge roll this whole playthrough. Like you got to try and get through this game like that, and then I get to pick your difficulty as well. You know, especially for somebody that might like me, I don't play games on hard like I was telling Wiley. So imagine Wiley picking out a hat and he gets to pick my difficulty and it's the hardest one. So he's now putting me through the gruesome.
We're going all the way back to picking things out of hats.
All right.
We're going way back to
way back because you know what? Forget technology. And it's just things like that. And it's even like hindering off to like not being able to level up for the first 10 hours or something like that. If it's like a game where you get to just stack experience. So it's all game by game basis. You know, there's certain games where you can stack experience and you don't have to level up right away, like Final Fantasy 15 did.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be modifiers like that.
Okay, well, I look forward to you and Anthony beta tasting that for us.
Yep. So it'll be fun. I was thinking, I was like, ooh,
idea.
I was like, if I could get Wiley on board, I can't wait to see the nonsense I could make him do in Bloodborne, in a new Bloodborne run.
I feel like you need to have like a hat like with all like possible games to play, and then you would need to have like separate hats for each modifier depending on what game they picked.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
I mean, I think it's doable for sure. Because I could see another thing being like changing the control schemes, like make your X be like L1 or something like that, or stuff like that.
Having me play like this.
Well, more to come on this escapade at a later date. Anthony, how you doing?
Much better now.
Much better now.
Much better now.
So we had just got done discussing a few games. We did Gears 5 High Busters, Call of the Sea. I want to talk about a game that actually came out last year, but I've been playing it so much that I got to give it a mention, and that is Ring Fit Adventure. Talked about it briefly on last week's show, but I've been at it like super consistent, haven't missed a day since last week, so it's 8 days in a row now. My character is level 76, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I'm in the 10th world. There are 20 total, so the game is freaking long. Like I'm 30.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So they really want it. It's like a long-term fitness program, and I'm not even close. So I'll be there in another month if I stick with it the way that I'm doing it now. But I think that the game is really, I can't say enough about how well made it is. And just the further you progress, if you're actually paying attention to things like getting the right smoothies ready for this particular battle so you have the right advantage, or if you're really paying attention to your surroundings as you're running through the stages, there's some neat secrets to find. I actually think that the art style is rather impressive sometimes. Like you're running through these stages and you think that they're just going to be cut and paste, nothing really interesting going on visually, but every new world actually is somewhat playing on the 55-inch HDR, or I guess it's probably not HDR, but it's a pretty looking game, and like it's got the Breath of the Wild engine, and it's just such a good game. The more you get into it, the more exercises you have at your disposal. You find that your form is getting better. You're getting less tired when you're doing the same amount of reps, so that feels good. I haven't weighed myself or anything. Like I don't know if I've really lost weight or anything, but I'm feeling better, and it's my exercise outlook as I'm not going to the gym, as I am not able to ride my bike. So I'm thankful for it.
How
I
long
definitely have to
are your
get
sessions that you're
into it.
doing?
So my sessions they are about a little over 30 minutes, but only a little over 20 minutes of that is actual exercise time.
Hmm.
Um, it'll tell you your calories and your uh, reps from each exercise at the end of it, and things
Yeah,
like your heart rate.
yeah.
And
So, because if I remember correctly from when I was playing some of it, does it like cut you off at that like around 30 minutes? It'll say like, oh, like time to take a break or something like that. Like I can't remember. I remember it doing that at some point, but I couldn't remember like if it was like a set time.
so it's usually around after about 12 to 15 minutes of exercise, it'll say, hey, consider jumping off so you can be fresh for tomorrow. And then you can just hit continue, which I usually do once, and then the next time it says it, or if I just get real tired, I'll, cool down per se. But
Hmm.
yeah, it really wants you to not pass out.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
No, but get it if you were looking for a way to exercise, like, and you have a Switch for real. Like, it's worth the price of admission, $80. It's worth it. Okay. Anthony, why don't you hop on the game action? I'm gonna skip ahead a couple. You jump back into Final Fantasy VII Remake?
Oh no, that was that's I
Oh,
think I put this in the wrong spot. That was I wish I should. I would like to
all right.
move back into it, but it's the hardcore difficulty or like hard difficulty. It doesn't let you replenish MP, and it's very like
Ooh.
it's weird. It's very different. I don't think you can heal unless they give you very specific requirements. I got to look back into it, but I remember not being able to get the rest of the couple items I had missed, or that you could only get them. You get these like those books you can get. They give you like the bonus points for your weapons.
Gotcha.
You can only get them in like the hard modes, and you can only get the exclusives. One exclusive summon, I think it's like Bahamut. You can only get by fighting in the that VR arena they have,
Gotcha. I know
but
the
it's on hard.
I've considered going back and getting the platinum myself, but yeah, that hard mode does seem like it would require a little bit more understanding all the systems slightly better than I did.
Mhm.
But such a great game.
No, it's really like looking back on it, like I know I gave it a lot of shit, especially like trying to rank it out with other games this year, but it is really good. It was a really, really good game. Great remake. I think I'm just still sour over the fact that it's not the full game, but I mean, I am excited to see what they have in the store for the future, knowing that it's going to be kind of a different take on the story of the original game now.
Word. So I want to talk about one more game, unless anybody else has something else before we move on to Game of the Year talk.
It's all you, baby.
It's all me. All right. So you guys know I'm all about the occasional charming and sweet, visually cute indie game, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I think I know what you're going to talk about because you were bringing it up the other day.
You got it. It's called A Short Hike. So I first learned about this game, I think, a year ago when I was watching one of my favorite YouTubers talk about his games of 2019. And it was on PC only at that time. I didn't have a gaming PC, so I was like, I guess I'm missing that one. I saw it pop up in a Switch sale. It's like $8 full price. I got it for something. And I played it for 2 hours last evening and just had such a fun time running around this world. It is a isometric 3D game, but it looks 2D. Like it's a really unique art style that there were times where I was like, "Whoa, that's so cool how they did that!" Like they look out of the distance, like the way that they're treating draw distance and just your field of view. You have very little control over the camera, but that's part of the appeal of it because getting up this mountain is the objective of the game, and just what the game wants you to see is important.
Mm.
So I think it's funny. The humor is kind of a little bit like A Night in the Woods, or I don't know.
I never played a Night in the Woods. That was that 2D kind of like, it almost had that cardboard cutout dial to it.
Yeah, it's a excellent game with a wild story that just at the end of it goes kind of off the rails in a way that I haven't still digested.
Yeah, that's nuts.
That's a classic. It's a shame that there was so much drama around the internal studio, which
Oh,
is
that sucks. That's,
yeah, there was
mm-mm.
rough stuff around.
I overheard some of that, but that is a real shame that, it reflects on their product.
I kind of forget what exactly the specifics were, but it was rough.
Mm.
All right, fellas, it is time for GOTY 2020.
Goaty.
Gotti.
So what we're going to do is go around the horn. Everybody's going to start with their number 5 game. We're going to go down 4, 3, 2, finish with the big finale. Number 1 with a bullet, maybe.
Pew-pew.
Game of the year. So I think we should start with Mr. Tyler Hadley himself.
All right, my number 5
Number
game
5.
of the year. Number 5.
Number
It's-
4.
It's gonna be Animal Crossing: New Horizons.
Okay.
Boo.
Yeah,
That's a good pick. I mean, it came out at the perfect time.
Personal
it did.
list.
I played it quite a bit when it first came out. Solid game. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it
You got
deserves
KK
a
Slider
spot
coming?
in the top 5. Huh?
You got KK Slider to come.
Yep, I got KK to come.
Yeah, he did. First person to be like, I got KK to come to town. Let's beat the game.
So is this something that you still check in with at all, or is it just a moment in early quarantine time that you fondly recall?
Yeah, it's just gonna stay a moment in that time. I mean, definitely played it for a solid 2 months or so.
You all were
Um,
pretty.
yeah, I think we were all pretty into it.
Yeah, remember that? I'll never forget that night we were out stargazing.
I know that was pretty fun.
That was sweet.
I gotta let the farmers market, the Levelwitchy farmers market, settle down. They didn't like it, but they'll respect it. Calm down, guys. Calm down.
Is this something that you or Caitlin still checks in with?
Nah, we don't really check in with it anymore. Caitlin was talking about getting back into it because one of her friends got a Switch for Christmas.
Ooh.
But she hasn't picked it up as far as I know.
Gotcha. I like the game, as I've said back in March. I don't think that it has the personal charm that the original did, which is the only one that I played extensively. But it's certainly a good game, and I'm glad that somebody put it on there, so we're not getting. I know nobody else is going to put it on. So props to you, Animal Crossing.
It's a good one. It was close. That number 5 spot was a tight race.
Barn burner.
Yeah.
Okay, what about you? We're going to kick around the horn in a counterclockwise manner. Oh no, is that yeah? Anthony, why don't you give us your number 5 of the year? With the stipulation, I should say, that does not necessarily have to be released in 2020.
Okay.
You played it so much, and you loved it, and you didn't give it its due in the past. You can feel free to make it on your personal top 5.
Okay. I have a honorable mention, and by honorable mention I mean this is my number 5, which it didn't blow me away, but it was one of the games I sunk many hours into. Was Pokemon Sword.
Okay.
I know the expansions came out this year, and I sunk more hours into that and beat those. But I want to say that was probably my number 5
Okay. I know
for
you've talked
2019, 2020.
Pokemon on the show extensively. You spent untold hours trying to hatch a shiny Charmander.
Oh yeah.
What do these games mean to you 1 year later, or however long it's been? Did it meet your expectations? Did it do it?
Yeah. With the base game was really good when it came out. I was really into it. I just wish that it had been released with the expansion pass, I should say, is because they had a lot of stuff that I really wanted in the base game, like the more wild areas, more variety, your Pokemon following you. That would have been great to see from the start.
Fair enough. Yeah, that would have been, I think, put it over the edge with a lot of critics, but then Nintendo wouldn't have that $30.
Nope. They want to have that $30. Can't buy them separately either.
Okay, Kenny, number 5 for you.
It was tight. So unfortunately, number 5 is a tie. So my list is a cheat. It's a 6-man list.
What?
What do you mean?
Yes. Because I am crowned king of the marketplace, Tyler.
No,
Let
no,
me
no.
be.
You get 5, and then you get honorable mentions.
So if I'm making an honorable mention, I guess I'm gonna slide out this one. But I'm gonna go with number 5, DBZ Kakarot.
Ooh.
Here we go. Okay, another unexpected entry. So this came out way back in January. Why don't you tell
It's
me
a while
about it?
ago.
I really enjoyed this one. Honestly, it was fun. I sunk tons of hours. I think I practically ran through the game in a week and a half, 2 weeks. Cinematically, like it did great in certain spots, and sometimes where you thought it was gonna take certain scenes in the anime to another level, it didn't.
Yeah.
But I'll take it with the grain of salt. The DLCs let me down because they were like a major grind. When they do, I was like, yeah, I finished the game at level 109, and then I came back and it was like recommended level for the first DLC, go take on Beerus, 200, and I was like, wait a second, I'm not grinding 91 levels.
Yeah, that's
You
like
know?
what the max level that you can like you beat Beerus or fight Vegeta in the first DLC is like max
Yeah.
level.
Huh.
So
Did you try out the new one yet? The new DLC? Because didn't like Golden
No.
Frieza drop?
yeah, I haven't tried that either.
I do remember on one of the episodes in 2019, you had predicted that this was
Yeah.
the game that was going to take off the anime stigma.
And honestly, I think it's a good step. I still do, because I'm looking forward to like Bandai doing more of these with like just I think they could take some IPs and really do some good stuff with it.
I agree.
It's pretty
Oh.
impressive, the scope of that. I hear that it's essentially the whole Dragon Ball Z story.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it doesn't include the Dragon Ball Super stuff or
No, it doesn't include the super stuff. And honestly, it did add some filler stuff that you were like, that were nice to have, that you were like, oh, these interactions never really happened in the game. In the anime, but I'll take it in the game. That's fine
Yeah.
by me.
Okay. Well, nice. I guess that brings it over to me. My number 5 pick of the year is Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Woo.
When I look back on this to that time of March and April, we got a bunch of big time releases. This is the one that has aged best in my mind. There are so many things that I think that it did well with the battle system. I think visually they did a pretty stunning job playing on a base PS4. Still had plenty of jaw-dropping moments. I really enjoyed most of the performances from the characters. I mean, the battles in the latter half of the game are just epic to a scale that I did not expect. Like, there's just so many different boss fights that I felt that they went above and beyond with.
Mm-hmm. That freaking Hell House.
The Hell House was a rough time.
Very rough. That was a lot more drawn out than I feel like needed to have been.
I agree, and I don't think that really was repeated with the rest of the experience. For the most part, I thought the whole ascending the Shinra building at the end was handled about as well as it could have been. Super looking forward to when Part 2 comes out. And as someone that did not play the original Final Fantasy VII, I was, a little skeptical on whether I would get into the story in the way that I did, but I definitely am. And hats off to them for pulling off. I think that expectations were all over the place. There was the disappointment with it only being a first installment type of thing. And of course, there's just the immense pressure of rebuild or remaking one of the most revered games of all time. So
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of pressure on them, and I don't, I feel bad for all of course they got a lot of criticism, but I feel like they're gonna do good things with it. I feel like it's gonna take off in the future installments. It does suck, and I'm still, like I said earlier, sour about not being the whole game. But I mean, it's not like I can't go back and play the original if I really wanted to.
yeah, and it's not the whole game. It's a 48 something hour game.
Yeah,
It's not like it was 12 hours like the first third of the original Final Fantasy VII would be.
exactly. Yeah, like the
So
first 2 hours of Midgar.
right, it's massively expanded on and just hugely ambitious. And I really hope that they finish it in the next 5 years.
Same.
Okay, back down to you, Tyler.
Number 4.
Number 4.
My
So-
number 4, I gotta give it to the Monster Train.
Ooh.
Yep,
Okay.
gotta do it. Just because of its kind of like an even better Slay the Spire, and I feel like in past years I definitely had Slay the Spire on my list, whatever year that came out in. I feel like I gotta give it its due diligence, seeing as how much time kind of we've all sunk into it at this point, and how much I enjoyed it, and yeah, that's all I gotta say.
I thought you wanted to say it. You were gonna call the king how much time the king spent on it.
No,
So
did spend a lot on it.
there's no
are you
king.
still playing it even with the constant taunting from Kenny?
No, not really.
Uh,
I've moved on.
He's put it down because he knows he can't catch up.
It's not worth my time. I got better things to do.
Yo,
Baby.
he knows he
Say it
knows.
all. I am meaning to get back to it, but your guys is just back and forth just made me like, that's not something I want to be a part of, to be honest.
Oh, you don't have to be a part of it.
I know, and I'm just being
Ooh, that's what I'm gonna put.
sarcastic. But neat. No repeats so far. I'm liking this. It's been exciting. So
Ooh, baby.
Anthony, we are back to you. Ooh, it looked like he just made a last minute edit.
I did.
What's it gonna be?
Number 4 is gonna be Temtem.
Temtem.
Yep.
Jeez.
Temtem. I was just looking at it now. I was perusing the Steam library, and that's something I want to get back to. Speaking of Monster Sanctuary, it looks like they've done a lot of updates to it too. Since I first started playing, and I'd really like to jump back there and get some grinding done now that I've got some more time. It was a toss up between this and Grand Blue, but I feel like I've sunk a lot more. I think I've already sunk more into just the couple times Temtem than over the couple times of Grand. I've definitely gotten a lot less frustrated at Temtem than I have at Grand Blue because I suck ass at online fighting games. But I do have to say that the art style and the Arc System Works is phenomenal with Grand Blue.
So Temtem's now available on PS5.
I saw that. That was pretty sweet.
Yeah. Another monster catcher extraordinaire.
MMO maybe.
Oh,
Is it MMO?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yep.
You would know it's your number 4 game of the year.
Maybe. Tyler, you can get it now. Did you get it on Steam yet, Tyler? I know it's on your wish list.
No, I don't think I got the full game. I think I only played the beta.
Yeah, I know it jumped. I think it jumped up in price because I was just looking at it on the store, and it's $30 now. I think.
Did I buy the full game? I honestly can't even remember.
I don't know.
Well, we will stay tuned and learn if Tyler has in fact purchased
Nope.
Temtem.
I don't. I only have the stress test.
That's okay. You can get it soon. Though I mean, it's cool because it's still technically in early access, so they can just add more to it.
Yeah.
Okay, Sub-Zero Hero, what do you got for me for number 4?
Gonna throw a curveball here. I don't think anybody would have expected me to say this.
Okay.
Streets of Rage 4.
Ooh, that is a good one, man.
Okay. That'd make my honorable mentions, but it was a great beat 'em up.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed a lot of time on it. It was a great game to play online with a buddy of mine, the other Ty. And we spent a lot of time playing it. We did it co-op, and then we just kind of whenever we'd end the night arguing, we'd be like, "I see me in Streets of Rage," and we go in there and,
That's awesome.
and fight each other.
Bop, bop.
Oh, can you actually fight each other?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know there
Oh
was.
yeah, is there a versus mode?
yeah, there is a
Mhm.
versus mode.
That's awesome.
I enjoyed my time with it. Played through it. Unlocked the character too. Past the initial 4. Tyler and I think did we finish that together?
Yeah, we did.
Nice.
Yeah, we played through it.
Yeah, good fun times. Way
Yeah.
better than Battletoads. As far as the 2 franchises that came back after 20-something years
Right.
and came out on Game Pass. Okay, so back around the horn to me, number 4. It is Spiritfarer.
Hmm.
Dang, that was a close one for me. That made my honorable mentions, but
Yeah, well, I think that it just hit all those highs and emotionally was pretty affecting in certain points. I think that the story was well told from all the different creatures' perspectives that you're ushering into the great beyond. I do think that the management sim maybe was a little bit grindy at the end, and I thought that the ship could have moved a little bit faster. Like, I think if maybe 3 hours or so were shaved off the whole experience, it would be even better. But the combination of the writing, the art style, the emotional moments, the mini games that look so visually impressive, the little animations that the cat did, it was just really a joy to play. And I had to put it on the list. I mean, like, there was others that maybe I sunk more hours into that were more of a spectacle, that I don't know, had other things going for it, but Spiritfarer is one that I can recommend to just about anybody, and it's a classic in my opinion.
pretty fun co-op too.
That's what I hear. I did not experience that, but yeah, you and Caitlin played the whole game that way, right?
Yep. It was
Nice.
great.
Word. All right, Tyler.
My
We're
number
getting down to
my
the,
number 3.
the business.
I don't know which one of these I want to put at number 3.
Ooh.
Now that
Hmm.
you're
Let's see. I
All
don't
right,
know.
well,
haven't
I
seen your
gotta.
list.
I'm gonna put Hades at number 3.
Hades. Okay.
Yep, Hades is
I
going
have
at number
stuck that
3. I'm sure it's on your list, Wiley. But yeah, Hades just an overall amazing game.
Set the world on fire.
It really did.
Yep.
Won some awards at the Game Awards. Great voice acting, great character development. I mean, I could still go back there for hours and work through some more runs to try and get like the true ending, because I'm still not even there yet. But yeah,
You
like
beat the game 10 times, so no easy task.
no, but yeah, constant
wild.
replayability. So many different ways to approach playing the game.
Mhm.
It's awesome. I mean, maybe the only thing that could make it better is like some type of co-op mode or something like that.
Yeah, I can
Right.
see that.
You can see it, but then you think about how like perfectionist that Supergiant is and how they want everything to work well, and that's why they never implemented like online play into Pyre. And
Mhm.
I think that they just know their limits and just want to do what they can to make the core experience all they can be. So I wouldn't be opposed to it, of course, but I just see why that they,
It wouldn't be like a perfect thing they want to introduce.
yeah. I was hearing Patrick Klepek and a couple other people from Vice on one of their Game of the Year podcasts talk about Hades the other day, and just made me want to jump back in there. Just all the builds that I haven't tried yet and everything. So we're gonna talk about Hades probably again in a little bit. So we'll move on over to the Do Artistic one. What do you got for your number 3?
Before I get to my number 3, I do want to mention really quick that I was watching ADGQ, Awesome Games Done Quick Online, which is going on all this week from January 3rd to the 10th. So you can catch that at adgq.com. Great if you like watching speedruns. People just break these games wide open. There's a variety of games. But on the topic of Hades, there is a donation incentive right now. If they reach a certain amount, there's a donation incentive to get the Hades speedrun on the actual schedule, which I would really love to see. And encourage people, if they want to see that as well, go on and donating to get that met, because that is a crazy speed run. I think they beat it in 20 minutes, not even. It's crazy.
It's been like 7 or 8 minutes run.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see them put this, especially to see this game that just came out and to get broken so fast into AGDQ already, like within the same year time span.
Pretty cool. I don't know if I've witnessed any like cheating, or like exploits. Like it's just people, they're just getting insanely good and just through it. Yeah,
it's intense. Like that's what I have to say. But one of the biggest things this year that I'm glad that I stumbled upon was speed running. So I'm getting pretty. I don't think I'll ever attempt it. I know our boy Brennan's getting really good with
Hollow Knight. Yeah,
Hollow Knight.
I know, that's crazy. That's probably like one
shout
of
out
the
to
biggest
him.
like shockers of the year. Is like, dang.
Amazing. Yeah, good for him.
This guy
I've
who
been
said
super
this guy who
impressed.
said he like never played, or he hasn't played video games in like years, like gets addicted to Hollow Knight and like starts attempting speedruns.
That's amazing. He's that dude. Apply for AGDQ. You could do it. Get in there. I'll be my boy.
Shout out to Brendan for hooking Tyler and I up with his password and username so we could read the Edge article about Silksong. Super excited for that.
That's awesome. But yeah, my number that we're on, which is number of 3. I want to say it's. I think it came out within. It might be. I mean, this might be a stretch. It's probably a stretch within the last like 2 years. It was.
That's okay, bro.
But I beat it last year, or this year was 2020 with Shantae Half Genie Hero. That was a lot of fun. Great game.
I remember you were very big on that.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's a great game. It's perfect. Like I think it was in a weekend span. Like I just got so sucked into it because it's the first like the base game, but you buy it now and it comes with like a second campaign, which you play as the antagonist Risky Boots, and you have a whole different set of like pirate tools instead of like magic transformations you get a Shantae. Then you have like 3 other different modes. You can play with her with different costumes, or Shantae. It's like different gimmicks they throw in. And then there's another one, which is like all of the friends. It's like different like mini stages you can play as other characters. They don't have like much going on, but there's like a lot of content in this like very, very small package.
Neat. I like the art style. This is one I never played, but
I'd highly recommend it. Soundtrack's a bop. It's so good.
nice. Neat. Well, unconventional pick, but a super good one anyway. All right, up to you, Kenny.
At number 3 for me is a game that I even still now I spend so much time on it, and I think that it came at a great time because it gave me a new shooter to play, and this game is Rogue Company.
Oh, come on.
My number 3.
I thought it was going to be Warzone.
My number 3.
Okay, Rogue Company. Tell me why you like it.
Honestly, I think it's has a decent versatility. It's fun, super quick matches unless you are going down to the wire, and I don't know. I've gotten a couple people into it. We're slowly but surely round out our 4-man team and start tackling ranked and try and hit the max rank. We'll see how that goes for me. And yeah.
Came out of early access this year. You guys were talking about it back when it was in early access.
Pick my nose.
I
Yep.
played a few matches
Yeah, we
with
paid
you.
money for it.
4v4 squad-based shooter, kind of like Rainbow Six Siege Light. That's sort of the impression I got from it. But,
Yeah.
not a knock, just
Could have been there.
more accessible. And of course, there's not 50 operators to choose from yet, thankfully.
No, but they're working their way. They did just drop a new someone new named Sigrid. She gets to deploy a shield on her arm, and then she gets to kind of just cover herself with it while shooting with her sidearm.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. back around to me.
Yes.
Number 3, Ghost of Tsushima.
Hi.
Yes. Okay. We are all into this game over the summer. When Legends dropped back in the fall, we were hooked. Beat the first part of the raid. Spent 5 hours on the second part of the raid.
That was a
never
lot of
beat
fun
it.
watching you guys.
Beat it.
That was a lot of
Seriously.
fun. Maybe if I
That's-
get it now, we can beat it. We have full squad.
Well, you have to do a lot of grinding, and
Yeah, you would.
as long as you get to where you need to be, I'm willing to give it another shot. I mean, it was tough that we didn't get to finish the raid, but what I'm giving Game of the Year, or number 3, is the single player portion, which was incredibly gorgeous, had an engaging story, I thought, all the way through. It was really just the Assassin's Creed game that everybody's always wanted, set in Japan. Just a wonderful swan song for the PlayStation 4. I love the parry mechanics. I love the dueling by the waterfalls, the homages to Samurai Cinema, the Kurosawa mode, the photo mode, the dramatic moments throughout the campaign, especially when you know who dies.
No, not you know who.
But I think that it exceeded my expectations, and it's among the best of the PS4 exclusives.
Mhm.
The Legends mode just furthers its value, and it's a great freaking game. I'll replay it. I'll be at 5. Say, super.
Well, I'm gonna just go ahead and continue the conversation because that's my number 2 of the year, Ghost of
Okay.
Tsushima. Agree with everything that you said. Beautifully stunning game. Kind of haven't had a good samurai game like it in a really long time. Definitely various difficulties that you could set it at if you wanted extra challenges.
Yeah, we gotta
I
get that
know.
lethal mode to go.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because then I know it's a game that you platinumed. So was that your last platinum that you got?
Maybe so. I definitely have fallen off a bit. I, go through my trophy fiending days, and then I get to wean myself off.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I just think it's also amazing too how they were able to release this amazing single player game and then in the same year release the Legends mode, which I thought was still like a really well done multiplayer mode for a game that wasn't even really expected to ever have multiplayer.
And they didn't make a single dime off of it.
Yeah.
I like
Wow.
no purchasable cosmetics, no season passes.
Good.
Just, here you go. Here's a great little addition. Have some fun
Crazy.
on us.
As it should be.
So totally looking forward to what Sucker Punch does with, next gen, current gen, whatever you want to call it, hardware. I assume it'll be Ghost of somewhere. I hope so. I hope we haven't seen the last of Jin Sakai. Or a new IP too. Whatever they want to do. Ball's in their court. And if I was at Sony, I'd be like, you should probably make a Ghost of Tsushima sequel, but if you really want to, follow your heart. Okay, Anthony. We're
Yes.
getting down to the wire. Back to you. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Okay. Well,
And we just discussed that briefly, but I think all the points stand, and I'm very, very excited to see where and definitely when the next part drops.
or no?
Huh?
Was that your number 5? Oh, no, it was my number 5. My
Yeah.
bad.
That was my number 2.
Okay. Cool. Well, I guess we did already speak at length about it earlier, so we can just hop on up to Kenny. I'm super interested to hear what you've got for your number 2 pick.
Yeah, we could skip me because we literally, me, Tyler, everybody, Ghost of Tsushima too.
Okay.
Yeah. We
Well,
spent a whole bunch of time on it. So
we sure did. Did you ever finish
have
the
I beaten it?
campaign?
No, my attention span has not allowed me. I've
Dang.
been all over the place.
I feel you.
Well,
I want to go
I'm
back.
sure you'll get to it in 2021. It's worth it, and I don't know. It probably runs even better now, and maybe when you get the PS5, that'll be the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
That'll be the time.
Yeah, once I secure that PS2 version of the PS5,
Oh God, you have to let me know when that looks so good. We
That's
gotta
got-
let
got
each
my
other know.
that stimulus check right there for that.
Do you guys get that in yet? I haven't gotten mine in yet.
Yeah, I got
mine.
mine. Okay.
Damn it.
Um,
All right, Wiley, what's
Well-
your number 2?
Hades.
Ooh, babies.
All right, all right.
Yeah, I had to put Hades. I think it just so many things that it does from. We already talked about it quite a bit, but I
Yeah.
think that
Mhm.
I think it's just a masterpiece in terms of what it's trying to do, being a approachable roguelike with a story that is very engaging, makes you want to keep playing, whether or not you're dying or not. You always feel some sense of progression because you're either earning the purple orbs, or you're having a meaningful character interaction, or you're leveling up your charms. There's really always something that makes you feel like you're getting a little bit better, having a little better chance. It took me a lot of tries to beat it. Like it was like 30 something, and what
Mhm.
you got it on 20.
Yeah,
so
like less than that.
I was worried that I would never beat it at one point, and since then I beat it a few more times. But it's one that I think I'll be coming back to for a long time. I'll take a few months off and just get that urge and put it back up again.
Yep.
It's really, really close with Ghost for me. Like it was tough deciding which would be number 2, but had to go with Hades in the end. I think that it's not quite a perfect video game, but it's pretty damn close.
Yep. All right. Real quick,
Number one.
I want to mention some of my honorable mentions before I say what my number 1 is.
Yeah,
So
Stop.
some of my honorable mentions are that were already mentioned are Spiritfarer and Rogue Company. Definitely played those quite a bit. I was gonna throw Yakuza Like a Dragon up there, being after watching Kenny play that.
Man.
It definitely looks like an awesome game. Blood Roots I put on there because I know we had played that for quite a while. And then I have Risk of what's that?
I said I'm the only one who beat it.
Yeah. And then I have Risk of Rain 2 and
Nice.
and Phasmophobia I put on my
Ooh,
honorable mention.
that's right.
Okay.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Now go ahead with your number 1.
My number 1, because it's the greatest game of all time.
You didn't even put AC Valhalla in your mentions.
No, oh, I guess I'll throw it in there. It was alright.
Right.
Okay. Son of a bitch.
Persona 5 Royal, baby. Gotta go back to it.
Ooh,
No shocker.
The greatest
here.
franchise to live.
The greatest video game.
Why haven't you bought Persona 4? It's like $12 on Steam.
Because
It's 'cause it's not as fun.
Persona 5 and everything in the future. I don't go back.
So you played this game in like what, 6 weeks?
Yeah, probably.
6 weeks, 6 hours a day, something like that.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, you slammed it out.
So this was your game of the year last year. Now it come out with the expanded version. It was fair.
It's different, okay?
So what makes Royal the definitive version?
There's so much more extra content. They just kind of like, it's the same game, but they weave in some of these new characters into the main storyline. They added a whole bunch of new gameplay elements in terms of certain things in the battles, and then like other activities that you can do during the days. And then the entire third semester isn't completely new, so you have a whole new dungeon to explore, and it just adds to the entire story as a whole.
None of it feels like bloat, like it's overextending its welcome.
I mean, I had a great time playing through this game. I mean, if you want to consider it playing through it twice, I mean, I had a great time playing through it again. I mean, another thing too is I feel like with this expanded version, I feel like they tweaked how your social stats increase, or they just kind of like they kind of made it easier for your social stats to increase, because by the time I finished, I pretty much had everything maxed out, and that wasn't the case when I played Persona 5. So I thought
So
that
the
was
extra semester in time definitely gives you some more.
yeah, I think that played a part in it. But I think even kind of slightly before then, I was already like basically maxed out.
Word.
That's awesome.
All right.
That's on my to-do.
Anthony, you and Kenny, I believe, have the same answer here. So why don't you guys collaborate?
All right, Kenny. Game of the year on 3. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Pokemon
Yakuza
Red.
Like a Dragon.
Oh,
Pokemon Red.
Pokemon Red. Shit.
Damn it, I got that wrong.
I got Yakuza Like a Pokemon Red.
Okay,
Yes.
so Like a Dragon. Why is this your game of the year? Why should people go watch your full playthrough on youtube.com/level with you?
Why haven't you played it, Wiley? What's up with the 21 questions, huh?
Yeah,
No.
Dad.
But in all seriousness, this game hits so many highs during its storytelling, and it balances it super well with the humor, and it's like the homage to old Sega, old Dragon Quest, to the old first 6 Yakuza games as well. It's tremendous. They just go over the top, and they take the new battle system they introduced, which is just turn-based combat, but they do so well with it. Think about it as like Tyler loved Persona, practically some throw some Persona in there, and you got Yakuza in a nutshell with some just over the top storytelling.
Very flashy, very stylized menus.
Yes,
interface is nice. It works very well. It flows. It's not as flashy as Persona 5, or as kind of new. Like, I don't want to say nuanced, but it's very appealing.
The music is just as good, but not better.
Yes.
But a nice thing that you can do if you are a Persona 5 fan, you could go to the bar in Yakuza Like a Dragon and enjoy the Persona 5, some of the Persona 5 soundtrack.
Which ones were there? Because there was I think I only found 2 when I was playing.
I found 4 CDs for Persona music. Yep.
Nice.
Speaking of Persona music, it's now all on Spotify. I hear.
Yeah, I saw someone post about that yesterday. The Persona 5 soundtrack in its entirety is on Spotify.
What?
And
since when?
Yeah. And 4
yesterday
and 3
or today.
and 2.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh my god!
Wow.
I was literally just like in the car last week, listening to the soundtrack, and I was like, "Yeah, I have to open it on YouTube because it's not on Spotify."
Yeah. Nope. Now it's all on Spotify, which is tight.
Hey, that's nice.
Yeah.
So
And-
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that also. I think early on with the game, within the first 10 chapters, it makes you think that, wow, like if this is the best they're gonna throw at you, like I'll take it. But then it hits another gear heading into chapter 11 and rounding off the last 5 chapters of the story. It just ramps it up and goes into another gear you weren't expecting, and with the story pacing and everything, it's almost like Spitfire with everything they're throwing and how good it's coming.
Hell yeah. Love when a game sticks the landing. So any honorable mentions you want to give a shout out before we move on to me?
Yes, my one and only honorable mention, even though you guys didn't finish it, because then they patched out the crossplay hack, but then they added the crossplay again to it. Minecraft Dungeons.
Okay. Didn't see that one coming. Yeah, that was a fun time. We got through like 75% of the campaign. Does it still not have?
Oh no, they
Crossplay?
patched it. They patched the crossplay.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's give it another shot. Okay, so moving on to Anthony's frozen. Sad. Okay.
Uh-oh. Internet go
Look at
bye-bye.
Look at that face.
Okay, so why don't I talk about each of my honorable mentions in detail? No, I'm just kidding. But things that just missed the list: Doom Eternal, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1+2, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. These would all definitely make my top 10. So they're great. Crash 4, It's About Time. Wish I could have included that one, but it just didn't quite make the cut. If we were doing top 10s, it would have. And then Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Still haven't finished it, but I'm 75 plus hours in, and despite the crashes, the glitches, the time where I thought I was going to have to start over 8 hours in, it tells a really intriguing story, and I just the gameplay loop is still there with the exploration and all that. So yeah, Valhalla gets a mention.
Nice.
But my game of the year, I don't think this will be a surprise to anyone who listens to the show or knows me, is Last of Us Part 2. Released over the summer. I went out, got the physical copy just because I wanted to hold it in my hands. It's a game that means the first one means a lot to me. So I had high expectations for the second. I was fortunate enough to avoid the massive leak that happened about 5 weeks before it came out that caused such a hubbub and made people review bomb the game as soon as you could, just because they were unhappy with the direction that Naughty Dog took the story, which admittedly is it's not where I maybe would have taken it, but it's the story they wanted to tell, and I think that they do an exceptional job of telling it. I think that just from a technical aspect that the game is in a league of its own as far as motion capture, the seamless way that it moves from gameplay to really cinematic cutscenes, the quality of the acting, the intensity of the encounters are just not matched in any other third-person game. Like you've got people chasing after you, and you feel legitimately a little bit scared, and they're regular people. Like they're not monsters or anything. Like they are shouting out to their homeboys, like, "Oh my God, they got Mark! Holy, like this is terrible!" Like all the enemies have names, which I thought was really affecting. Every time you have to kill a dog, you truly feel like an asshole. It just has a level of intensity that I don't think maybe it's enough credit for, even though it won Game of the Year at the Game Awards and it's on the list, top of many people's lists. But it's just the gameplay I thought was just as big a part as why it's at the top of this list as the story. And I can't wait to see what they do with the factions mode, whether it's Q2, Q3. I think we're going to see it in 2021. I never got to play the original factions for Last of Us Part 1, but I heard it was really cool and look forward to see what they do. So, no surprise. Game of 2013, Last of Us. Game of 2020, Last of Us Part
Nice.
2. And
There you go.
that's that.
You're in my boat.
I'm in your boat. What do you mean?
Because I picked Persona 5, and Persona 5 Royale. You got Last of Us Part 2.
True. Something analogous there. Okay, gentlemen. I'm glad Anthony is here to see us off, but that is going to do it for episode 85 of the Level Review Show. Thank you all for joining us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, share with your friends, join the Discord, all that good stuff. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Happy New Year.